There's been a lot of confusion going around recently about the correct way of playing Minecraft, or even if there's a correct version of Minecraft to play. There is, it's called Console Edition, RIP Xbox 360, but at the same time, it's a really interesting point about, is there even a correct way to play Minecraft? We all agree there are wrong ways to play Minecraft, but today I wanted to show you the most valuable, technically correct ways you can do things. Like for example, when you run out of coal for your furnace, it's a really sad thing. How are you going to cook up your potatoes? There's lots of advice you can come up with, but if you have a bunch of spare diamonds anyway, why not craft yourself some jukeboxes and cook up those potatoes without having to mine any coal whatsoever? This is a great way to save yourself some time and some energy, and it's a wonderful way to get yourself some food which will stop you from starving. And honestly, it's not just this which will come in valuable. Have you ever required a chest in Minecraft but you don't have enough lying around? They're just all filled with the potatoes you've been harvesting. You need more chests, but where are you going to find them? The answer, of course, is a woodland mansion. And I know these places are so big and intimidating, but let me give you one simple tip to make sure you can find chests in here, because chests aren't flammable, but the rest of this structure is. So just a single fire charge or light from a flint and steel, and then a careful stepping back, because sometimes fire does spread, maybe a little bit quickly, and then just wait a minute. You can do anything you like. You can get some chores done, you can order a pizza, you can go mine some diamonds because you need some more jukeboxes, or, you can just sit here and stare, because what eventually will happen...
3 days later.
You know what's funny? I actually did leave for 5 minutes, and I think that wasn't enough to burn the mansion down. Did the fire genuinely put itself out? What the heck? That sucks. Okay, you're gonna need a little bit more arson, maybe 4 or 5 spreads in different places, just to be sure. It's a big place. But the results are wonderful, let me tell you. And the best bit of all of it is what happens once all of the wood is burnt away. Because amongst the wreckage, you'll be able to parkour around, you'll find every single chest right and ready for you, which not only is going to be an access to a chest, but also diamond chest plates as well. That's wonderful, isn't it? So, would you like to have all the diamonds in the world? Would you like to have all the free chests in the world? Just commit a bit of arson. Works in real life too. Just gotta find the chest store. Look at that, there's another chest hiding right over here. Never would have found it otherwise, but now I've got a diamond hoe as well. Getting this diamond armor actually leaves us with a big dilemma though, because what do you do with this valuable armor you really don't want to lose? A lot of people would wear it and think, wow, that keeps me safe from monsters, but the truth is, you can always die in Minecraft, and so the best thing to do with valuable armor is to show it off on a great armor stand in a safe place, but then wear your second best set of armor, or your third best, or even better, wear your worst set of armor out, and then if you die, nothing bad will happen. In fact, if you wear the right set of leather armor, it looks basically the same as your diamond with none of the risk whatsoever. You can minimize all of your risk by wearing colored leather armor and keeping your real armor safe at home in your base. What a genius idea this is. However, speaking of gear, I think there is a real common issue with people debating which enchantments are good. Do you want knockback on your sword? Do you want fortune on your pickaxe or silk touch? There's all these sorts of debates that people have, and they honestly all have their own points. Most enchantments are good for something, and most pieces of gear are good for something, which is why I recommend the everything strategy. You can't be torn about which piece of gear or which enchantment is best if you craft every single type of it and keep it all in one place in a mysterious gear room. This will allow you to have every type of armor, so some days you might have chain armor, some days, I think some chain leggings would go real good right now, because I want to see my skin, but only partially. I want to actually also have an iron axe, because I don't want to take too many risks, but I want to then have a netherite axe as well, which is going to have my fortune on it, or it's going to have blast protection on it, I've decided. Wow, what a great idea. Having every single enchantment and every single type of gear is the only way you can be entirely sure that you have what you need. Except obviously, it would ruin the display if I kept these on me, so I'm gonna leave them right in there and run out with what I have spare that I found, and that's an important thing, just like how an important thing is crossing water. You might know this, but making a bridge is actually very time consuming, and honestly has the biggest flaw of being kind of fixed in place. Bridges are beautiful and some people have done some amazing things with them, but imagine you could make a better bridge. You don't have to imagine. Here is a piece of advice that will keep you mind blown. What if you could have a portable bridge that would move around with you? That's something you can have with enough boats. By placing boats over and over and over and over and over again, you eventually create them into a block, and as you can see, this is a walkable surface of boats from place to place. In fact, every ocean you have in Minecraft can slowly but surely be filled with boats to the point where you can walk on water, no frost touch enchantment needed whatsoever. It's an absolutely beautiful thing to do, and if you've never tried it, you're missing out in my opinion. Isn't this... But again, you might need to use a lot of boats to replace the ones you're slowly going to displace. But overall, making a bridge out of boats is just the smartest way to do things. Just like how lightning rods are a smart thing to do, you should definitely craft one. They are a great way to protect everything that you own from very scary things. However, there's a little bit of an issue in seeing lightning rods. They tend to blur in with the background a bit. I can't see them at all right now. That might be because I don't have glasses on, but still, I don't see the lightning rod. And how do you avoid this? You make the lightning rod as visible as possible, and the way I recommend this is by putting it on a very colorful house. Make the most colorful house you can, and the lightning rod will always be visible, and you'll always know how safe you are, which means all of my things inside here are perfectly fine. Wow, I feel so great and secure in my house with all of my colorful beds because the lightning rod is keeping me just that way. This is something a lot of people forget about, is that if you have a lightning rod on something orange, or you have it really high up and non-visible, and it blends in with the dark blocks behind it, you won't realize you're safe and you won't feel any of the benefits of it. Whereas this house is going to keep me 100% psychologically okay, and psychological wellness is very important. Psychological wellness, though, is not, in fact, I'd say one of the bigger problems of psychological wellness, because it's not the end-all be-all, but it is something you need to watch out for, especially when it comes to your base. It is so scary when a creeper comes up from behind you and wrecks you, so what can you do to avoid that? I would say make a base where not only mobs can't spawn because of lighting, but they physically wouldn't fit if they did spawn. I recommend, so my solution to this, my favorite solution, is the 1x1 Minecraft base. You can do this just like so, have a little way to swim in, and now with a 1x1 base, I can access all my stuff. My chest is here, my furnace is here, my stonecutter and my crafting table, but now I know while I'm in this, no creepers are going to be able to get in, because as you can see, I'm safe from all of those monsters. Pro tip, if you ever have issues with creepers exploding behind you, as I always seem to do, just make a base where they physically wouldn't be able to fit. Yeah, good luck trying to get in here, creeper. Haha, can't do it, can you? Guess you're trapped there. And actually, wait, I think I might have caused a bit of an issue with myself here. This is very much psychologically fine though, because I can chill here until the creeper despawns, and trust me, he eventually will. Or I could break out this way, I guess. You know, let's do that. So being psychologically well is very important. Am I fine? I think I'm fine. Yeah, I'm feeling great right now. Just put that back on there, and we're all great. But feeling psychologically well is very important. But something that is just as important as feeling well in the head is feeling well in the body. And you'll notice how I've got the serious issue of my hunger right now. How do I fix that? Glad you asked. It's my good friend over here, the piglet. So this is the car from the crash in January, and they were due to pick it up in that time, but they haven't. It's March, they finally came round, and they're like, you know, this car is undrivable because of this, apparently. Too close. I don't quite understand it. But yeah, they're sending a tow truck to pick it up. So just a fun update. Those of you who follow the third channel. So the real life, technically correct advice here is that if you damage a rental car bad enough, they won't be able to take it back from you, and therefore you get a free car. It's just technically undrivable. But speaking of technically undrivable, I think this was supposed to be a Minecraft video, so maybe we'll get back to this guy. So this is my Minecraft equivalent of a car, and just like the real life car, which saves you hunger in the real world, this is a Minecraft car which will do so in the Minecraft world. Obviously, you gotta craft yourself one of these little carrot on a stick things, but if you can do that, you can now ride around the Minecraft world without using any hunger whatsoever. You will never have to eat ever again, and either does the carrot, because, the carrot doesn't have to eat either, but either does the pig, because wow, the pig is now an infinite source of energy. It's wacky that they can walk around without ever using hunger or dying, but we don't question that they can, we just enjoy the fact that they're able to, and just like you being able to sprint to use more hunger, you can use some of your carrot or stick to do precisely that, but even that is entirely optional, and so yeah, this is your Minecraft car. You should use this whenever possible. The fact that people don't shows that they really don't care about food waste in this world, which is a big problem. Speaking of preventing waste, I think it's worth mentioning that your hunger is one of the most valuable resources you have, but only after your health. How do you prevent your health from going down? Well, you've got to avoid full damage, but sometimes you just have to jump 20 blocks onto some dripstone spikes, and so what can you do? The answer is always have slow falling potions on you and always be drinking them. If you permanently exist in a state of slow falling, you will never take full damage However, look at this. I'm just chilling, doing my own thing, and there is no damage when I fall onto these spikes whatsoever. If I jump down into this cave because I'm curious about the bottom, no full damage. In fact, it's even better than what I'm saying because as well as not giving you full damage, you have time to think about your life decisions and question, what am I really doing here? Do I really want a bridge that's made of boats? I mean, of course I do. I just need more boats in here. But being able to have slow falling allows you to make these decisions in slower time. If you speed up, you have less time, and if you slow down, you have more time, and that's an important thing for safety. Probably. Speaking of important things for safety, sleeping in the overworld is a very important thing. Bringing around a bed with you, though, is an absolute pain, especially if you have all these slow-falling potions you've got to drink instead. And so how do you avoid phantom spawning? It's really simple. Spend all of your time in the Nether or the End. There is insomnia in those dimensions, but there is no phantoms, and so if you permanently exist outside the overworld, it's like you go back to Minecon 2015 and you unvote for the Phantom. That's definitely the year it was introduced. Minecon 2017 and unvote for the Phantom like we all wish we could do all the time. Also, what sort of a Nether spawn is this? Jesus. Look at this. So, yeah, you know, I'm having a better time here than I would be if there were Phantom spawning, though, if nothing else. Speaking of things that were better for me, oh, look, my house is over there. Can I reach it with slow falling? I'll find out. No. But you can see the slow falling allows me to not die at least. Anyway. Speaking of being resource conscious, by the way, one of the most important resources you have is your tools. No one wants to go and mine for more ancient debris, and so how do you prevent that? Well, if you're spending all your time in the Nether anyway, you actually have, and you're not sleeping as you need to, you actually have easy access to one of the best mining techniques out there. All you need to do is try and sleep in any one of your beds, and you'll be able to mine 100 or 1,000 blocks in the blink of an eye. This is a great way to find more ancient debris actually, but it's also just a great way to have some fun. Look around this hole and tell me that it's not a great time, and I will tell you you're a liar, because the truth is, there is a lot of fun to be had in Minecraft, and all you've got to do for it, oh, never mind, I don't know what happened, but it's not okay. Okay, we're fine. So, okay, I've got one last piece of advice for you. If you watched this video and thought, you know what, Toycat, I don't think this advice is very helpful, let me assure you this last piece of advice is the most helpful thing you can imagine. Because sometimes even the one block Minecraft base is not the most secure thing in the world. What if a creeper snuck in and started swimming? You never know what will happen in that case. And so what I recommend is making the absolute most mob-proof base, which could obviously just be in the Nether, but it could also be right here in the overworld if you cover the floor in carpet. Carpets stop mobs from spawning, and so if you carpet the entire area around your base, you'll be entirely safe. You'll also be safe from all of the things inside your own life, but in case you look at that and say, no, I want safer, Toycat, this is not enough safety for me, I have one last idea that might save you, because what is the most mob-proof block in the game? I know what you're thinking, maybe obsidian, but sometimes withers will break through that. The one block even they can't break through is bedrock, which is why you need to do the only logical thing and build your house right out of bedrock. That's right, look at this, Minecraft's safest house. If you are inside this thing, nothing is coming to wreck you because it can't get through the impenetrable walls. It might break through the windows if you're not careful about that, but this is the most safe house in the world, in the game, and this has been some Minecraft advice that is very correct. Don't question it. If you don't question it, you'll be happier. And if you don't question the fact that subscribing allows you to see more videos, you'll also be happier. I'm not just saying subscribe to this channel, because of course I'm a YouTuber, self-motivated, but if you subscribe, you're more in control of what comes your way, and that's something you might like in Minecraft, because you can't control if a creeper sneaks up behind you. Believe me, I've learned this. I got killed by a creeper 2 minutes into a run recently. You can't control that, but what you can control is whether or not you subscribe, and you can do that or you can not, but you can also consider not getting in car crashes, because that is an expensive activity, let me tell you. Anyway, unrelated real life tip, don't get in a car crash, and if you are going to get in a car crash, make sure it's one where the vehicle is unrecoverable, because then you get to keep it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next tip video where we talk more about insurance fraud. But for now, you know, if you don't pay your taxes, you have a lot more money to pay for Minecraft microtransactions. Pro tip. Yeah, okay, we should definitely stop now. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.